Hi, Steve Schafer again, and I'm going to do something new here. I'm going to start talking about the issues both that I'm running on and what you've told me you want to know more about. To be clear, when I say the issues I'm running on, it means those I've chosen to highlight. And under Justin Trudeau, the problem is choosing 3 or 4 issues to focus on fixing is pretty difficult since it's such a target-rich environment under his leadership. Today's video is on the so-called carbon tax. And I say so-called because it's not really a tax on carbon, is it? We're not talking about lump charcoal here. We're literally talking about carbon dioxide, the air we breathe. It sounds a lot kookier suddenly, doesn't it? It's almost as though Stephen Harper had it right when he said the carbon tax is not an environmental policy. A carbon tax is a revenue policy. People who want carbon taxes want money for the government. And a recent Stats Can report has vindicated Harper's statement by demonstrating that implementation of the carbon tax has had precious little effect on people's behaviors. Interestingly, of all provinces, no one's behaviors have changed as little as ours in BC. And we've had the carbon tax here since the Gordon Campbell-led Liberal Party introduced North America's first carbon tax in 2008. But while there's been no effect on consumer behavior, there has been a drastic effect on consumers' wallets. The CFIB has estimated over $22 billion was generated in carbon tax revenue for the government to spend as it saw fit between the fiscal years ended 2020 through 2023. In those 4 years, only 0.17 of 1% was returned to small businesses who've been impacted the most. Oh, and that $22 billion was raised when the carbon tax rate was only $50 a ton. In 2023, it rose to $65 a ton, meaning the government was making about $8.2 billion per year, up from $5.5 the year before. And in just 4 days from now, the carbon tax will increase to $80 a ton, meaning the government will now raise approximately $11 billion per year in carbon taxes alone. You know, at a time when consumers and businesses alike are struggling in Canada, and when Liberals claim to be the champions of small businesses and the middle class, how can they justify this insane tax that does nothing to alter consumer behavior? As the Conservative Party has always said, this is all economic pain for absolutely no environmental gain. And it absolutely is economic pain for consumers, because we not only have to pay when we fuel our SUVs to take our kids to school or to hockey practice, we have to pay the increased cost of groceries at the store because of the tax imposed on farmers and truckers, bakers, wholesalers, you know, just to name a few. Does Justin think those businesses are simply going to absorb the increased costs? No. They'll pass the cost on to you and me, the consumer, in increased prices for groceries. And I know Jugmeat wants you to think it's due to greedy retail giants, because he, like Justin, doesn't have a clue about how businesses operate, let alone how Canada's economy functions. We need to elect genuine conservatives who understand foundational economic principles. If we do that, we wouldn't have to put up with another punishing tax for 16 years before realizing it's an incredibly bad idea. Well, I'm going to try and post more videos with answers to your questions, so drop a question in the comments below and let's do a bit of an Ask Me Anything, and I'll do my best to respond soon. Thanks.